The 2024 U.S. presidential election saw both major candidates address an anxiety shared by a record number of Americans, the rising cost of housing. VOA's Anthony LaBruto spoke to Abdi Warsame, a Somali American and director of Minnesota's Public Housing Authority, on how to solve their housing problems.
A lack of affordable housing has been a persistent issue for prospective homeowners and renters alike in the United States. According to a new poll by the Bipartisan Policy Center, it remains a top concern in the world's richest economy. The United States has traditionally used public housing, owned and administered by state or local governments, to combat homelessness. Minnesota's Public Housing Authority, or MPHA, is the housing authority in charge of administering this in the Midwestern state of Minnesota.
We are, by some figures, the largest landlord in the state. We have around 28,000 people that we serve on any given day through our various programs. And MPHA is an integral part of the city of Minneapolis, where we see ourselves as a key city infrastructure. We take care of about 5% of the city's population. So we serve the most vulnerable population of our city and our region.
Director Abdi Warsame attributes much of MPHA's success to the political climate in Minnesota. Recently, state lawmakers approved nearly $2 billion in funds to combat the issue. With their help, Warsame says he can implement lasting solutions through what he calls a resident-centric approach.
We plan all our projects around the individual resident, right? So we have, even when we do a major program, so we've done a lot of projects over the last couple of years that have been successful. But the main success comes from resident outreach. We make sure we speak to our residents first before we even try to do a project. We make sure we take their input in terms of the design. What do they want to see in their housing? What are some of the key issues that impacts them? Say public safety.
Results show that approach to be working, according to a 2023 statewide homelessness count by Wilder Research. Since Warsame's tenure started in 2020, homelessness across the state has decreased by 7%, or by about 1,000 people. Public-private outreach partnerships allow the Housing Authority to reach even more at-risk people. Organizations such as Emma Norton, a nonprofit housing program focused on helping women, works closely with MPHA and can help diagnose some of the long-term problems homeless residents face, like bureaucracy and discrimination.
We serve about 300, mostly women and families, who've experienced long-term homelessness, mental health, chemical dependency, or some kind of chronic health condition. So we're really on that sort of that housing continuum that's in Minnesota, in that supportive housing role that we play.
By combating housing problems head-on, Nelson Willis says organizations like hers can save taxpayers money in the long run.
Supportive housing works. It's shown that it saves public resources. It saves people going to the emergency room and jail and all of those things that are able to give people what they need in a much more cost-effective way, too.
Preliminary analysis suggests that specialized approaches, like supportive housing, which involve counseling or rehabilitation treatments, can save residents of Minnesota money in the longer term. Data submitted to the state legislature for review from the MPHA and others suggests that helping even a quarter of those under age 18 whose families face homelessness could save taxpayers $50 million annually.
They're not blind to the reality, right? When you drive in our city, you see homeless encampments. You see the challenges of homelessness. We have challenges with folks with, the fentanyl or the opioid epidemic is having a huge impact on our population. And we are seeing, homelessness on the rise. And we see ourselves as a solution to this.
Anthony LaBruto, VOA News, Washington.